Hey everyone, welcome to Gadget Talk. And no, we're not going to be doing a build, but we're going to show you some essential tools and equipment that every builder should be getting this Christmas. If you don't have it, get with your significant other and say, "Hey, this is what I'm needing." So we got links for everything, and Amazon links. And they are affiliate links. So I'm just going to say that right out front. They're affiliate links, so they help out everything that we're doing. But Chad, are you excited for Christmas?
I'm excited. I want to see what kind of tools I need to buy next.
Yeah, I've already taken some of the as we building this. I've been already taking my list and adding it to my own personal wish list. So yeah, I've been adding some stuff already, and I hope the Amazon man brings it to me. So, but before we get too much further, we got to go ahead and take care of our sponsors. So let's go ahead and do that. If you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today.
Logwork, the creators of the fantastic logbook, made with genuine Right in the Rain paper. The logbook's designed for the micro containers of the present and future, geared towards the hider who'd rather go caching than doing cache maintenance. Find them at logwork.com. That's LOGWERK.com.
Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today. All right, so we got a lot of people joining in on this. I'm just looking here. Mini Mag goes, new shop. Yeah, I'm actually down in my shop, and I was actually just noticing two things as we went into that commercial break there for a second, Chad. One, you have a Gadget Talk shirt on, but I have a hoodie because I'm out in the garage. I need to we need to make a Gadget Talk hoodies for the winter if I'm going to be out here in my shop. So I was just thinking about that. So let's put that on the list as well with everything else that we got going on. So yeah, this is the new shop. I'm out here in the shop. So I said I was going to be out here, so that's where I'm at. So we got Rumbacast is in here. Looks saying this looks like a great show. Tricasha says a second shop. Well, on my list, of my Amazon wish list, there's a shirt that says never did it's something like a woodworker never said I don't need another tool. So yeah, I could always have another shop. Let's see here. GeoTribe 5 saying good evening. Hey, how you doing? Adi Olson's in here. That I'm seeing
Lots
here.
Lots of good gadget builders.
Oh, really great gadget builders. And of course, we got Dave Wagner in here. There's always room for one more too. So yeah, I have, I don't know, a lot of different stuff and more tools around underneath all my tables. So, and that's what we are going to be talking about tonight, are tools and items that we think are really essential. I have some of them. Chad's got some of them personally. Some of them may need to be replaced. So yeah, there's always time to do that. Memphis in the winter is cold. No, temperature is relative, Neil. I mean, I'm not too bad, but it's not too bad actually out here right now. Today was really weird. It was actually 72 degrees. It's supposed to be 70 tomorrow, which is weird.
I wish.
But we've been running in the low 40s to 30s, not the last few nights, but it's not too cold. It's just relative.
Yeah. Tricasha says he needs a second shot for playing. Me too. I need a second shot for playing. Yeah, actually, this whole thing is for playing.
Yeah, isn't that what's also in the other room next door to you, to the right?
It's getting there as soon as I quit being lazy. So it's getting there. Hopefully by next week, we'll see. It should be pretty close.
All right, yeah, because we have back-to-back weeks this week for Gadget Talk. So we got this week and next week, and we haven't even discussed what we're going to be doing for next week yet. Well, maybe
it's
we
gonna be a
have.
surprise.
Maybe we were. Maybe we're talking earlier. Right
You and
before
I
we came.
talked, not publicly.
Yeah.
All right.
So
There's no beans to be spilled on next week yet.
right. Oh, but speaking of next week, or even this weekend, before we even get any further, of course, this Sunday is Podcast of Hope. So do not forget to join in with Podcast of Hope. Neil Moore's in here been really pushing the Coins for Kids, which is great. But you can go to podcastofhope.com, and that's the donation page, and you can go in there and do all the different stuff. There's going to be some great prizes. I know I have a Behind the Cash shirt that's going to be up for one of the hours, and who knows, there may be some other stuff coming up. I know, let's see here, there's going to be, for every hour, there is going to be something from Cash Canada and a whole bunch of more other items that are going to be on there. But of course, the whole point of Podcast of Hope is to support St. Jude's here in Memphis, and for childhood diseases and cancer, and a whole bunch of trying to get the cure and everything else. So don't forget to tune in to Podcast Hope. I got a great 8 hours set up for you. Midnight Central is when we're going to end.
Yeah.
Midnight Central is when we're going to end. So just count back from 8 from there. So yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a long day, but it's going to be a fun day, and such worthwhile to do it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Neil Moore, he'll be on it next. Sorry, I was reading there Jim's comment.
I was too.
So Neil Moore, he'll be on it next Podcast Hope as well. So he has a great cause, and they're doing the Coins for Kids, which is a great program. So excited to hear from them. So
to kind of answer Jim's question here, have you bought a tool that you've had many ideas to use for it, but have yet to use it once? Well, I didn't buy this tool, but it's part of my Shopsmith, and it was given to me, and it was the joiner planer. I'm really wanting to use it. I cleaned it up. I've recently got plans. I just got to get new knives to it. So I want to use it, see how it works, and kind of play with it. But it has probably not been used in 40 years. So there's some scared a little bit, but at the same time, making sure that all the safety stuff is in there is a big thing. But yeah, there's always tools that I want to use, and but
I have one right here.
What you
got? 2 years ago, cordless router. Thought, that would be handy, come in nice.
Oh, that's on my list. That's on my list this year too.
I use my regular router more.
Well, so. I have my router table over here, but there's sometimes that I don't want to take the router off the bottom of it just to route. So that can be a pain. So, but let's get into it. All our links tonight, you can simply go to I've got a page up with all the links, and it's at gadgettalk.com/gadgetgifts 2021. And so you can just simply go to the website, and you can come in here, and all the links of everything and probably more what we're going to talk about is all in here. And these, like I said before, these are all affiliate links. And if we come up with some more ideas, I will be dropping those in here tonight as well. I've got the website set up on one of my screens, ready to kind of pull links and put everything in there. But I'm going to toss this over to you, Chad, and let you tell us about which one you want to tackle first. And I'll follow you with the screen and everything.
Okay. Let's see. Now, one thing I do want to say, I'm sorry, I got to pull my list up on my phone. I think I would be prepared and have that up already. We get into talking. If anybody's been a guest of the show beforehand, we talk and get distracted. At least I do. It's very easily. If anybody has an idea, throw it in the chat, or a suggestion for a tool, throw it in the chat as well. So we want to know, just because these are what we would recommend, doesn't mean that they're the only things out there. So make sure you put it in the chat. So let's start. Number one, I think is really good, is a screwdriver set. So I have the screwdriver.
Sonic screwdriver set, because
oh man,
Dave Wagner says a real maker builds his own sonic screwdriver, and that kind of came from a comment that Tom had just right before that. Says, I have a regular mini sonic screwdriver. That'd be really cool. So But yeah, sorry, that was
No, that's okay.
squirrel.
I have a mini screwdriver I use more than any other part. It's this little one here. It doesn't go very fast, but it's great for screwing stuff in and out. It won't strip it out. Love it. I've had this thing for over 20 years.
Oh, wow.
So,
all right. So you're talking about a screwdriver set?
Okay, screwdrivers. Yes. So I think an important thing to have is a screwdriver set. Now, this has everywhere from all your T-bits, your Torx bits, your small ones, all the way up to your large Phillips head bits, standard head bits, squares, all that stuff. So I have one of these personally. I love it. It comes in so handy. It has that little stand that sits right next to me here on the table. Easy. They're labeled easy to see and get to. I really like that set. And for $25, it's not bad for what you get. Now, it's not a high-end Craftsman or not Husky, but Snap-on set, right?
Snap-on, yeah,
but
whatever.
You don't need it. And I've never had an issue stripping anything out or breaking one of these tools. So I typically don't go for the brand name on everything. I mean, a screwdriver is a screwdriver. It's not gonna, unless I'm using it for a certain trade that maybe is rougher.
Right.
It works great for me. And so I actually use that set every day. So it's come in very handy.
Right. And I like that. That would look really great in my shop. So anybody that wants to gift that to me, you can do that as well. But yeah, no, that looks really cool. I like that one. I am always looking for screwdrivers because I set them down someplace, and that I really like that. That's really, when you put that on the list earlier today, I was like, that's really nice. That's going to have to go on my list. So.
yeah. I actually was thinking about that for several weeks to stick it on there, and I didn't do it till today. So, but it's I use it quite a bit, so it's pretty nice.
Okay.
Next, I would say let's just pull something up here. I'll let you. Oh, actually, I can go to that.
All right, so let's look at the blunt needle,
here we go.
tip needle. So this one, you're like, well, why do you need a blunt tip needle? Well, this comes really in handy for when you are doing your acrylic, and because I saw you do this with it on a syringe versus using the little pipe thing that they came with it, and it's really not. It's $6.59. This is a 20 gauge. I actually got a 10 gauge by accident. I wish I had this one. The other one still works great, but this one have so much more control over what I needed it to do. But this is that blunt tip dispensing the needle for doing acrylic is just a really great item to have on there, and it's great. It's like I said, I didn't realize I needed it until I was watching you do your one of your builds, and you're using that syringe, and that was just like, holy cow, that is just the best thing. And you're probably running to get it, aren't you?
Well, I'm going to show everybody what we're talking about here exactly, just so they can see. So this is for what we use these for is doing acrylic work. So the glue for the acrylic, being able to stick it, put it in between the joints, right? Spread it out a little bit without spreading too much out because it does make a mess. So I don't know what I got here on my gauges. So what some people use is a squeeze bottle, and I actually don't have any because I threw them all away. Your tip comes on the squeeze bottle like this. And that's what you squeeze a bottle and the glue comes out. What I end up using is a syringe for mine because I think I have more control. The squeeze bottle, you can squeeze it and it will keep coming out. So this I use and for mine, and then I have different tips for the needle. Now I actually use a real needle on mine, so it's not something you buy there. This is actually a sharp needle, but they all work the same way. Right. I just happen to have a bunch of these laying around. So, and then I have different sizes as well. So this is a bigger one, just like what you show there,
right?
As far as it goes. So,
right.
But yeah.
So I put the link back up on the screen. Chronically Tired Mom asked, do you have a link for the screwdriver set? All the links. I'm not going to drop them really into the chat because it gets kind of crazy. All the links, you can go to gadgettalk.com geocachetalk.com/gadgetgifts 2021. That'll take you directly to where all the links are for everything that we're talking about tonight. So that's just the easiest way to get to the different links. And we're probably just going to go through these one by one and really get through there. I started laughing earlier, and I'm going to put this as a ticker here in just a minute, but the link, so it's be running bottom of the screen the entire time. But Tom, you're cracking me up. He's glad. He says, "I'm glad y'all explained the blunt needle. I never want to hear a doctor say the needle is blunt, and then my mind went downhill from there." So, yeah, that's yeah, Tom.
Yeah,
you're killing me.
I wouldn't. I hate needles, and I have to give myself a shot once a week, and I just dread it every time.
Yeah, I have to do. Yeah, I understand. So
anyway,
now
so that's one there.
The links are going to be at that Gadget Gifts 2021 on the website. So you just go there, and I'm going to have that running as a ticker now underneath the page all night long now. So.
Okay, so next we're going to go with the child safety magnetic lock. So this is a child safety lock that use a magnet to access or to activate to open it up. These are great for either making a secret, like Derek did on his show, a secret maintenance compartment, or just making it as a secret way to open up a birdhouse without having any kind of visual combination lock or anything like that. So I could use these on so many different projects. I have several of them here, so we may have to integrate some of these on some of our builds.
Right, and that's what they used on from going caching, the back in there to get to where the light up the box there, and they used one of these safety boxes here. This is a different type of one that we've used for doing the cache release mechanism, but those are good too. But I actually I've been wanting to get some of these as well and coming up with some different ideas for them. And they looks like about $29 for how many of it? It's a 12-pack. So
12-pack, yeah.
So another great idea for gadget builders, just some of the elements that you may need to have to make some of these really great caches.
Yeah. I definitely would recommend it. We'll do one here coming up, but I don't know about you, but I've found several caches with those on there. And I've loved every time. I've loved them every time. So next year.
Sorry, Adi is mentioning those are also great if you have a 1-year-old that thinks the kitchen is one big gadget cache. Who would have thought? Yeah. We never, gadget cache builders, we never use things that are what they're intended for.
No. Next, we'll go on to pre-wired LEDs. Now, LEDs in general are a good idea. They're
we
fun
have
for
two different sets on here too. But
do we have two different sets?
Yeah, which is fine. I have pre-wired LEDs. I have two different sets. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring up this one. I think this is the one that we're really talking about. Is this one?
That one there, yeah.
Yeah.
There's several different ones out there. The reason why I recommend the pre-wired is if you don't do electronics a lot, you don't have a soldering gun. These you just have to strip the wire and either solder them or wire nut them together.
Right.
And then the extra when you have LEDs on caches, it really makes that cache pop out and seem like you spent a lot of time and money and make it really looking high tech when it's really simple to add LEDs to a cache. So
it is. And also the other thing, when you do LEDs, you have to have a resistor in there, and these already have the resistor already in them, so you don't have to worry about it. Now, the only issue I have with these is that the black is positive and the color is negative. That's the only issue I have with these LEDs. And if that's the only issue I have with them, then that's fine. And I think that when you're talking about for people that don't want to do a lot of soldering and all that, I think that really leads into one of my favorite things that I've really started using quite a bit of, and that is these solder sleeves. I absolutely love these. If you've watched anything on my channel when I start doing soldering, if I can possibly use a solder sleeve, I'm going to use it. And because of the solder sleeve, it has the solder in the middle, and then it has, of course, the sleeve. So it's like the heat shrink. And all you have to use is a heat gun. You can just use a heat gun, and you can put the wires in there and solder it together, and It seals it, waterproofs it, and also does everything that you need. And this is a 150 piece pack. It's got several different sizes, from really big wires down to really small wires. I am about needing to have to order some more of these, because I use the little ones all the time, and I use the white ones and the red ones all the time. So I really do love using this, and I've used it not just on geocaches. I've had to fix other wires in the house as well. Oh, I wanted to go back on something else real quick. I don't think we have it in there, but acrylic weld. That's another item that we need to.
The weld on.
The weld on.
Grab a bottle of it here so people can see.
So a story this weekend, one of the wheels on my dishwasher that pulls out the rack happened to break. Come to find out about it, that the acrylic weld on, put that back together. So it took all of 30 seconds and had that piece back together, put it back on, roller's been back working, didn't have to call anybody out, didn't have to replace the dishwasher or anything else. All I did was use some of this weld on that's $12, $15, and use it and use my little syringe and just got it all back together. So that's another one. I'm going to go find that real quick while you talk about this next one that you want to talk about. And I'll go.
Well, the weld on, we don't have it in there, but if you're working with acrylic, this is what you're talking about. This is the weld on. So this is the thin liquid we use in the syringes. There's different types. So this is the fast setting. I don't know if it will focus on there. So this is fast setting that you use. This is the 3. Now I do use the 16, which is a gel, which takes a lot longer to set, but it's a stronger weld. And so this actually is really thick. You can't use it in a syringe, but I use this on quite a few things as well. Okay. So sometimes I'll use this to set it, and then I'll go back and run this in it afterwards just to get it to a better seal or a better weld on it. So perfect.
All right. So I'm kind of looking back on some of this to answer Tom's question. Is there a difference between a heat gun and a hairdryer? Yes. A heat gun gets a lot hotter, and it works a lot better. You can dry your hair. You can dry your hair with a heat gun. I don't recommend it, but you can't solder with a hairdryer. So it's one of those. So Teresa said, why would you need a weld on? So if you're working with acrylic, like I do quite a bit, we've done it on the show. I'll grab this thing right here. So we make these boxes that fit inside of an ammo can. This is put together with weld on. So it's a different type of glue. It's a fast setting acrylic glue. It's actually a solvent. It actually melts the acrylic together. But anyways, this is what you would need it for if you're building something like this. Right. And I am just about to I'm pulling the link right now, and I will be dropping it into the on the website here just momentarily. So you'll have that as well. I'm going to try and put it around the syringes. So Neil asked if we would do a show just on demonstrating some of these tools and techniques. We can. I think all these we've done at some point in the shows, but send us an email at gadgettalkpodcast@gmail.com and let us know what ones you're interested in. And we can do that for a show. We're always interested in ideas for shows. If you haven't done a show, it's hard to come up with ideas sometimes. So always interested. Always interested. Yeah. Doug said 2 different things here. He didn't know about the acrylic weld. And then right here, he asked where I got the clear hinge. You can get the clear hinge. In fact, I'll look for a link for that too. You want to look for that real quick? I get them. So there's several different types. I need to have a shop that's everything's closer together. Luckily, I pretty much know where everything is. I just used the acrylic hinge on my the cache that's going to New Zealand. So I use that on there as well. Yeah. So they're great hinges. This one here. So they come in different sizes, the acrylic hinges like this. You can get the smaller ones, and you can even get a spring-loaded one, which I like for certain caches, so you make sure it shuts. But I get them from Tap Plastics typically when I'm over there.
getting scrapped because they're not that expensive. I think these are like $1.50 or $1.99 if I remember right over there.
How long is that one that you have? Because I can I see
say
the
it's 12
smaller
inches.
ones. 6 inches?
They
So
have 6-12, yeah, 12 inches. And then like 2-inch stuff. But you can cut, I cut these down all the time because I can't ever find one that fits exactly. So like this one here is a 12-inch, or it might be a 6-inch I cut down.
I'm gonna put a 6-inch into it, so that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, it's a 6-inch I cut down. And so when I cut them, I just cut them in the joint here, or I cut it on one of the lines there. You just got to make sure which way you're cutting it because the rod inside is acrylic as well, and it's only attached on one end. So if you cut the wrong side, the rod will just come out. So you have to glue it back in. But either way, they're really good to use. And we've done those on several builds on the show as well. And in fact, I think the name of the show is Building an Acrylic Insert or something like that.
Right.
Gadget Caches for Dummies. I would need to watch that. Does she can do one herself? She want to come on and do a show? I'd let her come on and do a show.
What's that?
Oh, Chronically Tired Mom. I'm sorry, I'm talking to myself here. Or this is why Derek's here running this.
I'm here.
running the comments because
I'm on a different side. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, Chronically Tired Mom said do a show titled Gadget Caches for Dummies, and then maybe she could do one herself. I'm thinking she can make one herself after the show, but she could always come on and do one. Anybody here who wants to come on and demonstrate or show how to make a cache is welcome to. Again, just email us if you have that.
Yeah. All right, so I got those. The acrylic hinges and the weld on is now on the website itself. So those are on there.
So Pizza Ninja here says he wants to see an episode where I get sent random items and it has some MacGyver Gadget Cache. Let's do it. That'd be fun.
We've talked about this several times off air. And
we need to do it is send equal items to me and Derek. And then we do our different builds and see what we come up with. You know, this is something I've wanted to do at events, and I think we're going to at one coming up where you get people that sign up and you get teams and you get certain items and you got to build a cache out of it. So that would be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun. So I think that would be a great show. Maybe let's do that sometime in the new year.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun because now that I'm able to be in my shop, I can get to my tools. You're always in your shop, so we can figure just a lot of fun. So I think that would be really great.
Yeah.
So, all right. So what's our next item?
Let's see here.
What about the pipe cutters?
Yep, pipe cutters. We can do that. Go to that one. There we go. Yeah, I'm just working down the list there. My phone went to sleep. I don't know if I have mine in here. I think mine are in my car. So you have two different types of cutters.
I have
these ones on here are nice.
Size.
Yeah, so I have 2.5. I think is the biggest mine will do in the car. Now this one here is a ratcheting one, which is definitely worth getting. All you do is you squeeze it, it ratchets and holds it as it keeps ratcheting and it cuts through the pipe. So much easier than using a saw, you know, or one of these type ones. This is one that I got years and years ago for doing a sprinkler system.
We can't see it. Hold on.
Yeah.
So, and I have mine here as well. This is, but that one
you have the ratcheting ones there.
That one there, I like a lot better. So I think that one will go up even higher than what this is just 1 5/8, and I'm always looking for other ones anyways. But this one's just really
my ratcheting one will do up to 2.5. This one here is not ratcheting. So this is just spring loaded. And so you got to use your grip, right? And it never goes straight. So I don't recommend this one as much as I would the ratcheting ones, but these are great. If you're working a lot with PVC, which a lot of geocaches are made out of PVC pipe, I definitely would recommend these.
Yeah,
those are really great. You can buy other cutters for the ends of them, extra ends too as well. I use mine for work and I dent the ends and all the time, so I end up having to replace them, but they're definitely nice to have.
right. Those are really great.
there.
And then I'm going to go ahead and jump to this next one because this is probably after last year. And I was looking back over here on my table, and we have a link for these. Is when we are stripping wires like crazy, this wire stripper is so much fun. I should pull some wire out and show you how it strips real quick, but it makes it a lot easier to using this to strip the wires versus sitting there trying to do any other way. So yeah, let me grab a little bit of wire. I think I have some.
You got there?
Well,
okay,
no,
go for it. No, that's okay. Go ahead and do that. I'll talk about one other item here that we don't have on there, but we can stick up.
All right, which one are you wanting?
So I have actually this one's not on there, so I'll just show it real quick.
Okay, I'm bringing you up full.
Sorry, I beat you to it. So these I use quite a bit. So these are actually for putting in conduit size, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch conduit into metal or plastic containers. So the threaded end of the conduit will fit right inside. So I really enjoy these. These are nice. They cut in real easy. And then they also have a spring on them to pop the cutout out of it. But these are definitely, I recommend the 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch size. I use these all the time for making my gadgets. They're a great one to have, as well as I don't know if I have them in here quite with me. I think let me go on the next list here. Whoops.
Okay.
Oh shoot, Derek, I just messed that up.
No, you didn't. You're good. What do you need? Which one are you looking for?
The step drill bit set.
The
step drill bit. Mine's on my mine's chucked up on my drill press.
There you go.
So these step drill bits I use all the time. These are the best thing in the world. Very nice. You have one bit that can do several different sizes, very sharp, clean cuts on plastic. If you've seen me drill into the ammo cans, the plastic ammo cans, very clean cuts on these things. So these I definitely would recommend. This is a pack of 5 of them. You don't have to get 5 of them if you don't want to. I've not tried this pack at all, so I don't know how great these bits are. But again, this is just what they're called. You can go on and buy whatever quality you want. Typically, when I buy them, they're like $60 for one of them. So I think this is a great deal. And depending on what you're cutting through, I think these would work perfect. If you're going through plastic ammo cans, I would imagine these would last a long time.
I mean, yeah, I've gotten some at Harbor Freight that work great for even going into wood. I mean, if you're using it and you're doing it every day, day in and day out, then yeah, I'd probably recommend doing it. But for most of us that are more hobbyists, these are going to probably last us for quite a bit of time. So,
yeah. So definitely would recommend those. I use them. Great bits. Boy, I wish my phone wouldn't go to sleep so quick. Next, we're going to do the countersink bits.
Well, before we get into that, let me show this wire real quick. How this wire
go for it.
So let me switch angle here. And I'm going to go wide. All right. So go ahead and hit it.
I got it.
Okay. So the way it works, I'm going to have to show it this way. It just literally slips in there just like that. And it pulls it just right out of there and just pulls that wire perfectly out of there every time. And you can change the depth of how much you actually wanted to strip just by moving this yellow piece. So now I'm going to strip even more. I just put it to the end of it. It grabs it, pulls it out, and it just makes stripping wires so much faster than sitting there with a knife or even the clips where you just kind of strip it. Just using this does such a much better job. I just really do appreciate that. And that went on my list right after I saw you sitting there playing with it. I'm like, where'd you get that?
Yeah, and on there's a dial as well to adjust the tension on the. So if you get smaller wire, you can adjust it to actually grab it because sometimes it'll just slip through. So yeah, there you go. Right. Exactly. Another one other than that is this one here. I like same thing almost. You adjust your depth here on it,
okay.
And then it grabs it and you just pull it straight out. Let's see, chunk of wire here. Let me cut the end of it off real quick.
Here, I got another piece of wire. Do you need it?
Yeah. That'd be awesome if we were in the same shop.
I know, wouldn't it?
So you set your depth and you just strip it that way. And so you're just going straight into it this way and cutting it rather than sideways. So they both work the same way. Also, the one Derek has there has crimpers on it too. So
yes,
that's actually a nice bonus to that one there.
Yes, it is. All right, so now you wanted to go to the countersinks?
Yes, countersinks. It's kind of funny is normally I have everything right here, but since I'm setting up my other shop, everything's over there. So I use these. So if you want to countersink a head for a screw, this is the way to do it, right? So all you do is after you drill your hole, you go in with one of these countersinks, right? You chuck this up in your drill, and you can choose your depth you want, right? Rather go a couple small times, do it a couple times to make sure you get the right depth. If you're trying to fill your hole in so people can't see your screw, you can go fairly deep and then just put Bondo or whatever you want over the top of it. But the countersink holes really make your project look clean and smooth. So it sinks your screw head so it's even with the material that you're putting it into.
Right. Another great gift. I've put many of these on my Christmas list as well, on my wish list. And those that are following along, the link is down below as it's ticking across the bottom. It's at geocachetalk.com/gadget gifts 2021. And once again, these are all affiliate links. So it does help out the channel and what we do here as well. So, so Jim's like, I need to go through your list and add many of these items to my wish list. Then when I want to do an Amazon order, I don't have to reach limit for free shipping. I can add one of these items. That's right. Yeah, always.
Yeah, that's a good idea,
I keep a
actually.
running list going myself. So, all right, what's the next one you want to tackle here, Chad?
Whatever's next on the list down there.
Vicks bits.
Vicks bits. Okay. So these are self-centering bits for holes. So if you're doing hinges or anything, let's see if I have any in here.
These are definitely something I put these on my list, and I really hope I get these.
So many of these. So if you have a hinge or a hole that you're trying to center your screw in, right? So your screw's not off. You can pick the size. So the drill bit inside there's several different sizes. So you want to pick the right size hole. And then you actually stick it in there. It's spring loaded. When you push in on it, you chuck it up to your drill. When you push on it obviously self-centers and countersinks or starts your hole for your screw. So great item to have. Makes your cache look clean. One thing that drives me nuts sometimes on finish work is when screws are angled, especially on doors. If someone's hanging a door and hinges, right? And then the screw is angled up and one's down and one's sideways. These make it look very clean and professional. Love these bits. So definitely something worth getting on there. Again, to mention on here, these are, we picked items off of Amazon here that are fairly inexpensive that I think would be a good tool. You can pick whatever brand you want. Some people are into brand names. Some aren't. On these, I buy the cheapest ones I can because I end up replacing the bits on them. And I've never had an issue with really cheap Vicks bits. So typically I buy them at Harbor Freight, but since Amazon recently, it's been easier for me to get them there.
Right. All right. So let's go on. We did LEDs. We've done that one. Well done. Okay. We are to the carbide tip scriber.
Carbide tip scribers. Yes. I have those right here. So these, if you've seen several of our shows we use, if you're working with metal at all, it doesn't have to be metal. It could be anything you want.
Acrylic, yeah.
They will acrylic, all you're going to do is scribe on your metal or on your acrylic, whatever you're putting it on. And so that's all it is what's called is a scribe. It's pretty much exactly what it is. And it's just going to give you a mark to a guide mark or whatever you want to end up using it to. I use it on metal, and then that gives me my guide to bending the piece of metal or where I want to cut it. So definitely recommend them, as well as the punch on them. So the punch is the gold one there. It's very simple. If you go to the full screen here. Oh, one thing on these two that's kind of nice is the end of these scribes is magnetic. So if you ever need to see if there's anything magnetic or anything, or it's kind of cool. But the punch, all you do is you push it against something and you push on it until it pops. Find something that won't break. How about a benchy? So if you push on it,
Can't see it.
it will snap and then it will leave an indentation. Whoop, go that way. And then that will give you a start for your drill bit. So if you're drilling into something metal or plastic, your drill bit can wander.
Right.
And so this is one way to stop it from wandering. So,
and will that'll also work in PVC too, correct?
Well, yeah, I mean, I just pretty much did it on
That
PVC.
is PVC. It's very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll work on
one?
wood, acrylic, metal, PVC, whatever you want. I mean, as long as it's big enough to, or soft enough to actually put a dent in. So,
right. Okay. So the next item is the 3-digit combo lock. And this is these are the barrel locks. Let me pull it up. These are really great. And sorry, this isn't a 3, this is the 4. I'm mislabeled that on the website. But so we have a 3 and a 4-digit one on the website. So I'm just going to show one of them. This is the 4-digit on there. But these are really great to do. Really simple ones. I have like the cache I just recently built going to New Zealand, and I'll may pull that up here in just a second so you can see really how it works. But the aspect of this, the way this works, it's a really great simple way of doing these cam locks. Really pretty. It makes it really easy. So this is one of our locks that we do recommend is these 3 and 4-digit locks. And what I'll do, I have it right back here. Let me grab it real quick. And let me adjust this camera here. So this camera, so this lock here, so you see it right here. All it is just kind of, it turns and it releases, and there's the inside of the lock itself. Let me see if I can get it in there. I just do this. There's the lock of it right there. So, and then there's just a kind of the catch up here at the top. But this just kind of really makes it lock in there really good, really nicely. And of course you can just change it. And you can put your own combination into this lock as well once it's in there. And it's really sturdy and really great. I really do like that one. You showed us how to use that first time, actually in an ammo can, Chad. And that was when I was like, I got to get another one of those. Yeah, Chad's not good for me for buying gadgets and stuff like that.
Not good for myself. Another one that's good are the receiver locks. I like these. So if you're into combination locks, we didn't put these on the list, but we can add them. What I did, I was actually just looking for the container, and I think I threw it away. You could drill a hole through your cache and put this through there, and it would actually hold your cache up there. So if you're using one of the Logworks tubes or anything like that, it would actually hold it up there, and they'd have to figure out the combination to get the cache out. So these come in a couple different sizes on there, but I definitely recommend these receiver locks too as well.
Yeah, I'm looking at the combination one. I'm looking for some other ones. I keep finding the keys. So I will continue to look, and I will drop that on there.
Okay. We'll skip that one. I'll come back to that one. Waterproof buttons.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely, I use these. I finally had to replace mine after just over 3 years, and I don't think it was the buttons that were the issue. They have these come in 2 different ways. So the one we have on there is, I don't know if we have both wired and not wired, but waterproof buttons come in different colors. You can also get them in just black, just red, if you want to. Or you can get them pre-wired. So then there's just like the LEDs, they don't require a resistor. Buttons don't, right? You're just completing a circuit.
Right.
But I have them pre-wired up here.
And there's no positive or negative on them either. So
correct. So you're just completing the circuit. So if you want to show the so this is the pre-wired one, comes just like this. So all you have to do then is connect your wires to the end of the button. Here, waterproof. Mine's out in the weather. They're exposed to the weather all the time. And in Seattle, it rains here quite a bit.
No, it doesn't.
Like I said, after over 3 years, I finally replaced mine, and I don't think they were the issue. So definitely recommend those as a cache or as a tool if you want to use them or use buttons.
Okay, I'm just about to get the receiver lock in there. Just give me few more seconds, and I'll have it in there for you.
Bell on the Move says that on the nearby Geo Tour, people have a very hard time locking those back up. Is that the receiver one, or what lock is that, or is that the cam lock? Let us know. Clarify that for us.
Okay, and now the receiver lock.
I have one you just have to shut. That some people have a hard time shutting back up, but it's good to know. I mean, stuff you have to think about when you're building the caches.
I'm gonna bring it up. It's kind of like the person that when you're getting on an airplane that they tell you how to fasten a seatbelt. I mean, come on, you can't. There's certain things that we should know how to do, but
yeah, we do have the wired. I see Derek has the wired waterproof buttons on there as well. So
correct.
That is good.
Yep, those are on there as well. There's actually 3 different sets of buttons that we put on there. Now, another one that when we're talking about bits is the Lockmiter router bits too. And
yes, I was going to go grab the thing to show that here.
Oh, and I have mine.
Start talking about. I'll grab it. You got yours right there. Did you get one?
Yes, I did. I just got mine are just over here. So neither one of us had them. So I'm going to.
I have mine already built into a cache here.
So there's what they look like. Yeah, that was one of the builds that you did just a few weeks ago with those. And there, I haven't even had a chance to use mine yet. I've been wanting to. I just haven't had the opportunity yet. So
yes.
But I actually got this kit. So this is the kit I actually got. So there's the cache that you built.
Your kit here.
So here it comes in. Simple comes in this bag here of all the 3 different sizes, and I'll just open up the big one, and wow, I can feel how sharp those are just as I'm opening the package out. Like I said, I haven't even pulled it out of the package yet. So, and I'm just going to show it up on my other camera here real quick. But yeah, this is the bit. So this is the big one. So this is the this has a 1/2-inch shank. And this one is, I'm trying to look at the size of this one.
So you should have a 1/2-inch shank.
It's a 2 3/4. This is a 2 3/4 one.
So that should do up to a 3/4 inch piece of wood, I would imagine.
Right. And then you have the other ones.
Oh no, it says 1 inch, a 5/4 1-inch wood stock. That one would do.
Yeah. Okay.
So you can do a 5/4 piece of wood on that. Just to show people what that does is it makes a groove in your board just like this here. And the next board you run, right, put the groove in it, but you do it the opposite way. And then the 2 pieces lock together like this, and you can glue it, and it's a very nice joint, strong joint, and it leaves the outside nice looking. So I think these are my scrap pieces, but if you put it together nice and tight, it looks like a solid piece of wood.
It does.
And you can just add you can pin it with some nails, whatever you want to do. Very clean, very strong, because it gives you more gluing surface on there as well. So there's more adhesive to it, and then you just have to put some mechanical fasteners in to hold it till the glue dries.
Right. So that's on the list there. Another one of those. I just discovered those recently. Now another item, as we're going through different stuff, here is rivet tool. And you have that. I don't have this one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So the nut set there, the nut rivet gun. So yeah, if you want to add a screw to a piece of metal, fiberglass, plastic, whatever, depending on, whatever you're building, and you want to add a thread to it, this will actually do a rivet that has a threaded end on it. Let's see, I have some right here. I can show you. I'll grab a big one out. So everybody, hopefully you know what a rivet is. A rivet gun. So a rivet gun will just crimp together, will crimp itself to tighten up. And so what this does is the same thing. So it's just pretty much a big rivet, but it has a thread in it. So you can actually put a rivet in something that's threaded. So now you can add a screw to whatever material you're putting it into. So if you want to attach something to it with a screw, you can just go ahead and use this. And so this just crimps together, this rivet does, onto whatever material you're using. So I use these as well quite often, mainly for work, but I use them on my caches as well. Good little tool to have.
Right.
My tool is in that room there, but I don't think anybody needs to see the tool.
Yeah, that's fine. And another one that we have dealt with quite a bit is the RFID card readers.
Yes.
So this is another great item that is recommended, that we recommend. This one is probably the better one, between the ones that I've played around with, because this one will go from the side of it or right in from the front of it. So you can actually do it several different ways. And it's a great, it works with the fobs, and it will also work with the cards. So just another great item, another item to add into a cache. And we did a challenge with an RFID card reader as well, and how to build a gadget cache with an RFID card reader in it. So that's one of the shows that we did. And this is the one that we really do recommend, is this style of RFID card reader.
Right. And this is battery operated, so you don't need any extra power to it. And if you're not into programming and writing the code and building out of an Arduino the system, this is a great way to go. It works good. It's reliable that I've seen. I'm not having issues with it. Now, if it runs out of battery, there's actually a extra part you can add to it.
Right, that you can plug in.
That's on it.
Right.
Yeah, you just plug in an extra power source that, like one of those USB battery. I happen to have one right here. So you can plug into here with it. It comes with the USB connector to goes to this. So you can have this kind of sticking somewhere in the cache or outside the cache, or just a little. On mine, I just have a little hole in the cache that this is on the inside of, and I just have to stick the thing in there. No one else would know what it was. And then that will allow you to open it. So the part I'm talking about is not in here. It's right here.
So
it comes with this. So it goes to USB.
Yeah. Engineering 42 asks, how is the battery life on the RFID latch? It really depends on your batteries. Of course, we recommend the Energizer Lithium Ultimates. Those usually will last a lot longer. But I haven't really had any issues with it. I've ran them for quite a while, just in beta testing on doing different stuff here, and I haven't had an issue with them.
It depends on how often they're found, pretty much, and then your weather. Right. If it's cold out, your battery's probably not going to last as long.
Right.
You can also, if you didn't want to add batteries and you just had the USB sticking out, you could have someone bring their own USB power source to access it as well, if you didn't want to have batteries. But what Derek was talking about, as far as attaching this, you can either go with like a lid style and have it attached this way, or you can have it go this way. So that's what's nice about this one that we recommend versus the other one just is one way. It goes in, and actually the way this part here that sticks out actually makes it difficult to make anything real tight. So this is the one we'd recommend using.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at, we were talking about soldering before. We didn't actually put any soldering irons on here because it's very, depends on what you're wanting to work with. There's several things on here on the list that we will not be covering possibly tonight, but you can always go to the list and you'll be able to see all the different items on here. And sometimes we have some different variations of these items on here as well. So, but one of the items I want, of course, here's the keypad that we've used before.
That's what I was just going to bring up. I'm looking for one that's not used.
Right. Yeah, me too. So this is the key. This is, if for those that don't want to do any Arduino programming, this is another great keypad to use. You just come up with a puzzle or something to be able to do the lock, and it releases itself. It's in lockers. So it's just another type of cabinet lock. And it's
exactly the same as the RFID reader, but it has a keypad.
Right. And I've used this on several different of my caches locally. They're not out; they're here in the shop, but and one waiting for a panel. And so that'll be back out or out later. So, but that's really great. Great.
I have one. The only one I have I could see is on my Oculus case. So same thing. Keep away from my kids. It opens up, and then the case opens, and then it will shut and lock. So, anyways, that's where I have mine, or one of them.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. And you used to have, and then you're putting one back there on your Nerf gun holder back there. I know, but
actually, that's gonna be an Arduino-based one. As soon as I get to it, that thing needs to come down.
Okay. And also on the website,
I should make that as a part of one of my shows sometime.
And also on here, we do have the Nanos, and then we also have an Arduino kit if you're wanting to learn how to do some Arduino items as well. And then there is a PCB holder. So I'll go ahead and bring this up, because this tool, as you're doing PCB or your boards, and you're having to solder on both sides, I've used this many times. It just makes it a lot easier. It's holding it in place. You can flip it back and forth to do your soldering. If you're soldering components on there, makes it a lot easier. And it just holds everything in place, and just the extra hands and everything. So that's on here. And then of course, just mentioning extra hands. And Chad, which one do you have? One of these, the new one that you put on the list?
Mine is sort of that. I added that one to the magnifying glass because I want that one.
Okay, so this one's on your list. Okay.
Yeah, so I have one just like that, but it doesn't have the magnifying glass.
So this is another set of hands that you can do for soldering or anything like holding your wires. If you're actually soldering wires versus using your the solder sleeves, you can do all that.
Yeah, always need extra hands.
Yeah, I started reading in the chat from the Force Awakens. Sorry, squirrel. Yeah.
No worries. So yeah, I would recommend that one. I recommend, of course, I'm getting old and I can't see anything, but I recommend a good light source and a magnifying glass. You can get the glasses if you want, if you prefer the glasses. I think you might have a set of the glasses.
I do have a set of the glasses. And unfortunately, this one right now looks like it's unavailable, at least with the magnifying glass, but there are some others that are available. Oh, yeah. You put another one on here.
There's probably a ton of them out there on Amazon. So
this one, here's another one.
This one has everything in one.
So you have your
this has a PCB holder, the extra hands, and the magnifying glass.
So this is
I wanted to try this one out.
So
it'd be nice not to have, I mean, on there, that one little thing would take place of 3 tools I have. So it would be nice.
So that's another great one there. So
crimpers. Oh, okay. Well, no, as we're on soldering. The suction hose, fume smoke.
Yes, and you have this.
I use this one here myself. So if you do a lot of soldering, it's not good to inhale the fumes of it. In fact, if you look at your filters on these, you'll see all the solder that it sucks up, all the black. So it's always good to have one. I don't use it on the show just because it's loud. It can be loud. It's adjustable. But I definitely recommend one of these while you're soldering. In fact, I can see, I think I changed out my filter on mine. But anyways, the filters, if you look at them, if you look at online about them, it will show you how dirty the filters get on them. And if you don't have something sucking it up, that all goes into your lungs.
That might be a problem for me. All right. So there are many
crimpers, real quick. I know we're running close. Go ahead, Derek. You do yours.
I was going to say security screws.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So we always talk about security screws as we've been doing a lot of these different caches. And there's 2 items on that we're going to talk real quick. The security screw is really great. So cache maintenance really helps. Let's put it this way. If you're not using security screws and you're just using regular Phillips or different types of screws, there's more likely to get broken into. Whereas with a security screw, it's a lot harder the way they work, because they have a little tip on the inside. This is a star bit. And it has a little tip on the inside, so you can't actually put a regular star bit in there. It keeps it from actually making contact to be able to open it. So the security screw is really great. And the other part that we recommend as well is the security screw tamper-proof torque screwdriver. This part of it, the actual bits
the
themselves.
bit set, yeah.
And I've gotten different ones, just of the single one. Like I may use a T20 security screw, and I get several of those, because if I happen to give my cache away that I'm using security screws, or somebody's bought one, or that aspect of it, then I can actually send them with a bit itself for them to do cache maintenance themselves. So that's, but this is
honestly, for this here, I've actually just drop shipped these from Amazon to my friends. There's several friends that I've had on here that I just sometimes will send gifts to, right? And for $8, I mean, come on, that's a cheap gift to send to someone. And honestly, you can always use these. The difference, if people want to know the difference between a security screw typically and your regular one, like for the Torx bits or the Allen wrench, you have a stud in the middle of the screw. So that's why you have the hollow hole in the middle of your bit, so that the stud, what it does is it prevents you from using a regular Torx bit or Allen wrench on a screw. So this, you can use this on a regular T or regular Allen wrench, but you can't the other way around. So these are a good bit. So if you have someone that needs one for Christmas, or needs one, it's a great cheap Christmas present just to send someone. I like surprising some of my friends and just shipping them stuff sometimes.
Right. And then the last one that you were going to get to was the crimping tool. So
crimping tool. Yes. So the one we have on there is a little bit different. I actually think I like that one better myself. That's why I stuck it up there. The one I have is a little bit different here, but they work pretty much the same way. That one there, you just put your end of your tip in there. So depending on what kind of end you want to put on your wire, and you just stick it in the hole and crimp it. Mine here's a little bit different. Mine has the different colors for the different color ends, and you crimp it, and it ratchets, and then once you get all the way up to where it's crimped, it lets go. So this is the one I have, but I actually would love to have the one that we have on the list, and that's why I added that one there instead.
Yep.
The one I have.
And
so
I think we pretty much went through our entire list that we had up on there, and I'm just going to bring up the screen one more time. So we have, as I just scroll through it, this, and once again, you can go to geocachetalk.com/gadget gifts 2021, and you'll be able to see all these different items that we mentioned tonight. And once again, these are affiliate links, so they do help the channel. But these are really great items as a gadget builder that we use a lot of times. Oh, there was another lock that we use, the lock that we recommend. The different locks.
Yeah, it's combination locks.
The nanos, the Arduino boards, all the different things that Chad and I use quite a bit. And yeah, we did put some lists on there that were some things on here on our list that we have on our own wish list. And so these are just some really great items for anybody that is building gadgets, or, like I said, the weld-on, I've used that other than on gadgets. I've used it on fixing some appliances in the house and different things. I broke one of the little feet on a monitor on a video gig, and I broke out the weld-on, and I welded it back together, and it's probably the strongest part of that whole leg now. So
yeah, it works very well.
Really great. It works great. I've been disappointed that it wasn't the right plastic on certain things that it didn't work on. I was disappointed on that, but but it's some really great stuff. And the Pizza Ninja says that list looks amazing. Thanks for putting it together. And Chad did most of the heavy lifting on the list. I added some other things of mine, but this is some great stuff. And Chad had a lot of this stuff first, and then I've gotten it since then. But yeah, these are some great items on here.
Yeah. So, now, one other thing. So since this is a list for your gadget cacher, if the holidays are coming up, you need to give them a gift. These are great things, great ideas. Don't forget about the kits we have, right? Those are great gifts for a gadget builder. So the magic blocks, the Simon Says, or the memory, all those things that Dave makes that we have on our website. Those are great things to get for your gadget builder.
Keep talking a little longer. I'm gonna pull them up.
Oh, okay.
I was going to go to the store itself. So you can go to your Chromia.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was trying to figure out. So it's Chromia print shop. Easiest way to get to it is go to geocachetalk.com and then just click on the store. But we still have masks and shirts and coins. Remember, once these coins are gone, they're gone.
We're getting low on some of them.
So then if you want to get into our kits, I mean, you can get a tumbler. We have our geocaching shirts and different things, but here's our memory game ammo can.
So if you click on one of them, if you go down to like Chase, there you go. Yeah, click on the Chase. In here, you can actually, if you go down a little bit further, I think, you should be able to choose from pre-built all the way to just the kit or with the can. So there's 3 different options. Maybe it's not that one. It might be a different one. Oh, that's scales. So anyway, I was thinking of magic blocks. I'm sorry. These ones are all listed separately. But on the magic block ones, you can get them completely built, ready to go. So yeah, if you click on that, then you have your options. If you go up a little bit, there it says magic block kit and then style. If you click on the style, it will actually.
Yeah, it's not showing it on the transfer. I'm seeing it on my screen, but I'm not seeing it over here.
It's not showing it. Okay. So anyways, you can check if you want just the kit itself and you put it together, or if you want it completed, you can actually select it in there. So if you want to put a gadget cache out, but you have no way to build it, we will do it for you and send it to you. Of course, it's a little bit more. Or you can buy it just as the parts and put it together yourself. So Dave does an awesome job putting those together.
Yes, he does. And good news, Chad, we've been re-upped for another year.
Oh,
so Gary just spilled hashtag beans.
So much for my vacation then.
So, all right. So once again, if you want to find any of these items that we've talked about tonight, the links are at geocachetalk.com/gadget gifts 2021. So those are some really great gifts. The links are up there. In fact, if you go in there, look at show notes, the links that we did last year are still up on there as well. And there's some other items on there that we didn't talk about tonight. Some of them are there, some of them aren't. So these great items, all these items are really great. We cannot recommend a lot of these enough.
Yes. I want to mention one more thing here. Bill on the Move mentioned the Gadget Academy is coming. It is next year at Worldwide Cache Fest. So make sure if you want to go on there and build a cache with Derek and I, one of our kits, you go on there and you buy the kit and we'll sit there and we'll actually build it with you on site. And this is in Memphis. So kind of a shameless plug there for the Cache Fest. But honestly, I look forward to building stuff with people. I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy building stuff. Yeah. And so I'd love to, go on there and build or go to the event and build some stuff with you, as well as the coins. You can always buy the
coins, the pre-event
worldwide, the Cache Fest coins, on the Cache Fest site. So great coins. But they're going fast, so I'd make sure you jump on there. Another great Christmas present for someone.
That's right. Those coins are really, I love those coins, and I love the case that you're making for those as well. So as in Hugh said, this has been a great show, and the list is super. So easy to give the list to my wife for Christmas. And I hope.
Yeah, you can create your own list on Amazon and share it. So that's what's kind of nice about Amazon.
Yep. So that's really great.
Oh, Chad's coins came today. Well, good job, Chad. Thanks for buying them. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Hopefully he can make it to the event.
Yeah.
Now I want to build a cache with him. It needs to be the other way around.
Yeah. Well, we're hoping to have some other gadget builders that have been on the show and different aspects that are going to be there with us building as well for everybody. So that's one of the things we're really hoping for. And I probably just spilled some beans there, but hey, it's Gadget Talk, Gadget Academy. So I get to spill some of those beans a little bit, but that'll be really fun. Don't forget this Sunday, Podcast of Hope. So that's one of the big things right now. Podcast of Hope this Sunday. And of course, the donation page is Podcast of Hope. .com. Hey, I didn't realize that the ticker and that could be at the same time. That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Squirrel.
Yeah, I'm excited. I have my Coins for Kids coins that I get to donate here during the show. So
Awesome.
On Sunday. Sunday. So that'll be fun.
Awesome. Well, everybody, I hope you had, those in the U.S., hope you had a great Thanksgiving last week. Those in the rest of the world, hope you had a great Thursday. But just to thank you for joining us tonight. Don't forget, we will be back next week for a build. And when we release that link, you'll know what we're building. Chad and I'll probably jump off here in a minute and kind of discuss what's going to happen next week. But surprise.
It may be a 3D build. I know several Gadget Cache builders that have bought 3D printers recently, so maybe we'll do a 3D build. I don't do 3D builds too often just because not everybody has a 3D printer.
Right.
But maybe we'll do one. We'll see.
Yep. That sounds like a great idea. We could do that. That means I would have to be up in my office.
Yes.
I'd have to be upstairs, and out of the shop and up into the office, into the studio. So, but look forward to it. But we'll figure out what we're going to do. So we will see you next week. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and check out Podcast of Hope this weekend on Sunday. 8 hours, and it starts. Ends at midnight and in Central. Back time it from there, whichever time zone you're in. So, all right, everybody. Good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.